Hey boys and ghouls, Mootini here. Y'all, it is raining cats and dogs outside. It is just perfect fall weather right now, even though it's like 103 degrees right here in Salt Lake. But just the rainstorms coming, the pumpkin spice showing up in stores. Halloween is upon us. And it makes me so happy. So if at any point throughout the video you guys hear it's the rain. It just sets such a great tone for filming with me right now, especially with what we're about to talk about. That's right, folks, from the title of this YouTube video, we're doing another Mootini Reviews. We are going to be going through an entire series, you guys. First of many to come with these reviews, so keep that in mind. But I decided if we're going to go through an entire series, I really wanted to talk about one that I feel doesn't get talked about enough. Like, don't get me wrong, people do talk about it. But I just hear a lot of people shitting on this series, and I think it deserves quite the opposite. Oh. If you couldn't tell by my shirt, which I totally did not buy for this video, the very first Paranormal Activity movie. Okay, enough. We need to get this party started. So come along, my friends. It's gonna be a paranormal time. Alrighty, you guys, let's just hop right into it. Now, when I rewatched this movie for the sake of this video here today, I watched it on my DVD copy. Physical media is not dead yet, folks. I don't know why, I thought it would be super fun. I know all of the Paranormal Activity movies, they are on Paramount Plus for you to watch if you have a subscription to them. Hashtag not sponsored. I just thought it would be really fun to pop in the DVD and watch this thing. And a good thing I did too, because I learned something.
Now, when I first put in the DVD, it did not give me all of these options here. It only gave me the option to play the movie and the setup. It was after I finished my first full watch that it gave me the options to watch it with the alternate ending and also this trailer for Shutter Island. What the fuck?
The more you know. Alrighty, you guys. So the first Paranormal Activity movie is part 1 in a 7-part franchise. So far. Paranormal Activity was released in 2007 and directed by Oren Peli. And get this, with just a budget of $15,000. Oh my gosh, that's like, compared to today's standards with filmmaking, that's like nothing. And fun fact for you guys, I thought this was a really cool one to know. Oren Peli ended up sticking around for all of the other Paranormal Activity movies. Did he direct all of them? No, but he stuck around as a producer, which I thought was really cool. Personally, I feel like this franchise is severely underrated, just for the pure fact, these are found footage films. And unfortunately, a lot of found footage films are really placed into this category of, this is cheap to make, this isn't good because it's a found footage film, or the classic,
I could have done this at home.
Now y'all, I get it, there are some found footage films that are just not good. But I'm a firm believer of do not judge a book by its cover. There may be bad movies out there, yes, but the same can be said for any category of film. And personally, you guys, I love found footage films when they're done correctly. And also, in my personal opinion, all of these movies are great until we get past part 5, the marked ones. Parts 6 and 7, debatable. This movie and franchise is not just a, oh, it's a haunted house, let's set up a camera and we're gonna catch a ghost. Now don't get me wrong, do our characters in these movies want to catch ghosts on camera? Absolutely. But this series is really one where if you pay close attention to all the little details, it subtly creates this environment of coven witches. You heard me right. That really just fucks everything up for these families. Also movies where if you give it a second go around, you notice a lot more. I love details like that. Folks, we're gonna discuss it all, but we're gonna begin with the very first one that started everything. Alrighty, my friends, warning now. From this point on in the video, we are going full on spoiler talk. I ain't gonna hold back. And with that being said, I ain't gonna hold back with spoilers on any of my reviews for this franchise. So I implore you, please go watch these movies firsthand and then come back so we can discuss. Let's Let's do it.
We are introduced to Katie and Mika, a couple living together in a gorgeous California suburban neighborhood, where Mika purchases a camera to hopefully catch some paranormal activity that's been going on.
Okay, y'all, I think the first big thing to really point out here with this movie is that the actors in this film do an insane job at being so natural. It is very believable that they are a real couple, and they have fantastic on-screen chemistry with each other. So believable to the point when things start getting really messed up from this entity, it's quite disheartening to see them just deteriorate from the stress and the fear that this demon brings onto them. And you heard me correctly here, folks. We're dealing with a demon. Now, something our director Oren Peli decided to do that I think really did help this movie feel so natural is that he had our actors use their actual names. Hell, talk about getting into your character for a movie, am I right? This story is very well written and it's very well paced. Nothing to me felt rushed at all when I rewatched it. I will have you know though, folks, if you don't like a slow burn, maybe this isn't a movie for ya. Cause slow burn it is, but definitely worth the payoff. Alrighty y'all, so beginning shot of the movie. We're in San Diego and Katie's coming home from work with Mika, coming out to greet her with a camera he just bought.
I think it's a giant-ass camera. What happened to, like, the little handheld?
Are you gonna park the car or are you gonna stand there looking at it?
Why do they have a camera? They want to catch some paranormal activity! Things start off a little goofy at first as we get introduced to our characters. We see what their relationship is like, and they're getting used to that camera.
Say something.
What are you going to say?
Something really quiet.
And then we've got night one. Now this shot, it is iconic. Every time it cuts back to this exact same shot, you get scared. You're like, oh gosh, something else is gonna happen now while they're sleeping. And there's this little shot of the hallway that just goes back and back, you guys. It is such a great setup. Next morning, a psychic comes and visits them. I guess Katie made an appointment with one because of some paranormal activity. I'm so sorry. Now, upon this discussion with the psychic, we discover that Katie has been experiencing a presence of something ever since she was a little girl. Now, Katie also shares that her little sister Chrissy saw this entity as well. But we're gonna catch up with Chrissy in part 2. And upon some pretty deep discussion with the psychic, we learn from him that this is not a ghost that will just go away, but a demon that actually wants Katie. He then gives them the number of a demonologist to call and severely warns them to not attempt any form of communication, as that will literally open up the door just inviting this thing in. Does Katie listen? Yes, absolutely she does. Does Mika listen? No, he does not. He establishes himself as this very macho man, that this is his woman, I'm gonna take care of this is my problem, I will deal with this. You guys think I'm kidding? He actually does say stuff like this in the movie. It gets to the point where it's almost hilariously frustrating to watch him. Believe it or not, he does convince Katie to not call the demonologist. Why? Because he can take care of it himself. Meh. Throughout this whole movie, Katie's just, hey Mika, can you please just take this serious and put the camera away? No, I gotta catch it on camera, cause it'll be cool. Please promise me that you will not buy a Ouija board to try and talk with the demon. Okay, I'm just gonna borrow a Ouija board. Mika, please don't taunt the demon.
Calling you out.
Hey, that's enough!
Your demon's worthless. You're worthless. Got nothing.
Honestly though, the first time he starts taunting this demon out loud, it's so funny because Katie just goes, Mika?
You scared?
Little note here, the psychic also makes a very valid point that a lot of people always ask this question. Oh, why don't they just leave? Why don't they just pack their shit and they're out the door? Because this is a demon, this isn't something they can just run from, unfortunately. So leaving the house, it's not gonna help. This thing's gonna follow them until it gets what it wants. What does it want? Katie. And as we follow Katie and Mika through the different nights, it gets very scary to see this demon haunting progress. It goes from keys being thrown to the floor
Left them on the counter.
Sure.
Yes.
Hearing a few bumpy noises, to doors being slammed shut, and Katie being physically dragged out of bed down the hall and bitten. And she gets a nasty old bite,
Sorry, this looks like something bit you.
marking her essentially for what's to be the last act of this film. And oh my gosh, just before this ending, I really want to talk about a specific scene here. From this conversation with the psychic at the beginning of the film, we learn that Katie's family home was burned down years ago in a fire, and they lost everything. Mika wants to do a baby powder trick to try and get some footprints, and footprints do they get. They follow this trail of footprints into the hall, and it leads them to a closet where they've got the opening to their attic. And guess what? The attic door is open! Katie's all, Mika, please don't go up in there. And he's just all, I'm not gonna go up there, but I am gonna take a look. He goes up there, and we're expecting a huge jump scare, which we don't get. But they do find a photograph of a very young Katie, and the corners of this photograph are burned.
No. Let me see. What in the hell is this doing in the attic?
How'd all that stuff burn down?
Oh, fuck! And rightfully so, she starts wigging out. This photo should not exist. Yet here it is in the attic of a house they just moved into not that long ago. Small little detail to keep in mind for later. Alrighty, so we've got shadows appearing on the walls. We've got Katie getting up out of bed, just not even remembering anything that happened or why she got out of bed.
Would you stop following me with the camera?
I'm trying to solve the problem here. I didn't bring that thing into the house.
Don't do me.
You did.
Oh,
Well, hang out with your friend upstairs. I'll be down here.
shut up!
This bitch has been bitten! And we got a hell of a finale. On the final night, Katie gets up and very creepily walks over to Mika, just staring at him for God knows how long. And then she makes her way downstairs. We hear her screaming bloody murder. Mika runs down to her, and we hear a bit of a struggle. Silence. We hear a couple thuds coming up the stairs. And then just out of nowhere, Mika's body is flung at us from the camera's point of view. Sorry, Mika. And oh my goodness, look who's covered in his blood. It's Katie. She is just fully taken over by the demon at this point. We got a little bit of a hint of that earlier as well before the final night. Mika's all, hey Katie, I got the car packed, let's go. Babe, let's go, let's just go, we're gonna go to a hotel. And she just doesn't want to go anymore. After he leaves, she says this.
I think we'll be okay now.
Talk about creepy. She gets down very animalistic-like and just looks at his body and then looks at us in the camera. She gets a demon face and comes towards us. And that's the end of the movie. The demon finally got what he wanted. Now this was the theatrical version that came out in theaters. But including this one, they did film in total 3 endings. Now, the theatrical ending that we got, I personally think it's the better one, and it's the one that I like the most. Because looking at the bigger picture here, it really helps tie everything in better. Especially since we've got sequels, prequels, a spin-off at this point. Now, the first other ending we could have gotten, it's pretty much the same stuff. Only exception, Mika's body isn't flown at us, and Katie comes into the room, she closes the door, she looks at us really creepily, and then she slits her throat. My thoughts on this ending? Now the second other ending, I think would have been fantastic if they weren't planning on doing any sequels, prequels, and a spinoff. Pretty much the same deal again. She goes downstairs, we hear her scream, Mika comes running, we hear a scuffle. She comes back upstairs all bloody and she just sits down there beside the bed, swaying back and forth. Eventually, the police come to do a wellness check on them, and then Katie appears to come back, not really realizing what she's done, and she ends up getting gunned down. Overall, I feel like this is a really solid horror film, you guys. And at no point did this become boring for that slow burn effect that it has. and the scares are all very well timed and very effective. Our characters are both pretty well-rounded, and at no point did I find them boring to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing them on screen, even though Mika's an asshat. Oh, Mika. But you know what? If our characters were 100% perfect, not able to make the mistakes that they make in this movie that progress this story along, it would be a very boring film. What rating do I give it? I've decided I'm no longer gonna do a rate this from like 1 to 10. That just leaves so much up in the air because there are some, really good parts and there are some like parts. There's so much to this. So from now on, I'm going to be giving a film review. Yes, it's worth the watch, or nah, you can skip it. But for this movie, Mootini gives it the good ol' yes! Go watch this movie. Definitely worth it. Alrighty, y'all. That wraps it up for this episode of Mootini. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you want to hang out more. And for folks who like to leave comments on YouTube videos, I'm very curious about this one. What did you guys think of Paranormal Activity? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know. As usual, my friends, all the links to my social medias are going to be here and in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mootini out!